Hi guys, welcome to another lesson. I'm going to look at some little things tonight, some hi-hat licks, okay, where you can just improve the flow and the feel of your groove if you just think about the way that the little things that you're putting in there, yeah? Okay? It doesn't need to be all the time a massive, great big fill or something like that, yeah? Okay? Just needs to be something nice, subtle, nice and little, okay? So many a time I sort of hear grooves. I hear grooves like this constantly, yeah? Which, you know, there's nothing wrong with it, but let me play it for you first, and I'll explain to you what we're going to do with it, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so not a bad groove, yeah, okay? If you keep the flow going and keep the feel there, it's not a bad groove at all, yeah? Now what you've got to think about is then just adding the sort of spice to it, okay? So imagine that that groove is a meal, yeah? That, you know, without some kind of sauce on it or without some sort of salt and pepper on it, it's not going to be as good as it could be, yeah? That's the idea, that we're going to just add a little bit of spice and the finishing touches to it, yeah? It's like the icing on the cake, so to speak, yeah? That's really what we're going to look at, is that sort of icing on the cake, okay? And we're going to really work from a real basic level, yeah? Real basic level, and we're going to think about putting some real simple ideas in there first, and then we're going to obviously just move that up to a more advanced level, yeah? So hopefully, again, it's going to cover all bases, yeah? Don't forget your questions. We've had loads of people on just recently, and again, you know, not a massive amount of questions, okay? So either I'm answering everything that, you know, within the lesson, or you're a bit shy and you don't want to answer, you don't want to ask the questions, okay? So let's just see if we can get a few questions in and just make it that little bit more interactive. All right, cool. So let's start off with a real basic idea, okay? If we're playing a normal, just a simple eighth note groove, okay, which, you know, the bass drum can stay as simple as you want it to do, or you can add as much as you can depending on what level you're at. Yeah, we're all at everybody's at a different level. Yeah, just see what you can do, make it appropriate to you. That's the idea behind these lessons, that they're all appropriate to, you know, somebody who's just started to play and can play a few grooves could use it. Yeah, and then we'll move it on a step and see where we can take it from there. Okay, so a simple groove like this. Now the most used part of the kit in that groove is here. And basically that's what it's doing, yeah? People pay no attention to the hi-hat, okay? So we're going to look at some things that we can spice that up a little bit for you, okay? That in itself, yeah, it's going to give the whole thing a kind of monotone kind of feel. Yeah, and that's what your groove's going to come across as, yeah? So we're just going to add a few little peaks and a few little troughs in there, make it sound nicer, okay? So the first one we're going to do, which is, again, is really simple, yeah? But maybe not used by a lot of people, is this. We're going to play 1 and 2 and-a. So we're going to put an and-a after the snare drum. 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a. Do that a little bit slower for you. 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a. Okay, and now with the stick so you can hear that a little bit better. Start it slowly and then I'll speed it up for you. Okay, now a little bit quicker. Okay, so instantly you can see that it's made a difference. It's made a big difference to the groove, the way that the groove feels. Now, obviously, if we use it all the time, then it's going to lose its appeal. Okay, it's really going to lose its appeal. But it's so simple. 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and, yeah. Really simple, really, really, really effective, yeah. But don't use it all the time. Let me go back to a similar groove to what I was playing at the beginning, and you'll sort of hear the difference. Okay, so instantly it's kind of started to add, yeah? Don't use it all the time. It's going to get too much, lose its appeal, yeah? It's going to get too predictable, yeah? The idea is that we kind of add to it, but we don't make things really, really predictable, okay? So, that's the first step of it, yeah? That's the first step, yeah? Now, when it gets a little bit quicker, rather than trying to get the hands to go from here and get them right out here, yeah? Let's try, all we've got to do is a little switch here. That's all we're playing is one note with the left hand, yeah? So it's just going to come from the snare, little flick over. Okay, so just make it a little bit easier when it gets faster. Yeah, obviously at the slow speeds, then it's fine to play it, to move the hand over and get a nice clean sound. But over there, yeah, that's what you need to be looking at doing. All right. So that little technique there, you'll see quite a bit if you watch the likes of the sort of hip hoppy R&B guys, yeah, like Tony Royster, Gerald Haywood. And all these kind of guys, Teddy Campbell, yeah, Aaron Spears, all these kind of guys. When they're playing kind of that 16th note feel, yeah, or that, the quite quick hi-hat patterns, and they've got the little licks in there. It's exactly the same thing. You're just putting it in there. So if you're playing 16th notes here, yeah, little 30-second note in there fills out the space. All right, I'll show you a little bit of that. It's not really that important at the minute, but for some of you advanced guys, yeah, might make a big difference to your playing. Okay, so check some of those guys out. That's where you're going to see it. That's where you're going to see it quite a lot. Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of the first step. Yeah. That's kind of the first step. All right. In terms of just getting it, and it's ridiculously simple. Yeah. Such a simple idea. Yeah. But it adds such a flow. Yeah. Such a flow to the way that your groove feels, and the guys in the band are really going to kind of notice this, that it's got that kind of purpose now. Yeah. Obviously, you can't use it all the time. Yeah. You can't use it all the time, but a lot of the time you can get away with it because it's just adding to it. It's not sort of in the limelight, it's just adding a little bit of something, yeah? Okay, so that's the first step that we can do, yeah? All right, let's see if we can, see if we've got a question. Yeah, all right. Phil. All right, okay. So, Phil, thanks for your question, mate. I don't know where you are, but let me know where you are. What Phil's asking is, if you were doing it on the ride, would you go to the ride? Now, the answer's no. So I think what you mean, Phil, is that if you were playing this, yeah, the answer's probably a no, yeah? What you would do is keep it in the same place. Keep it there. 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and 1. Yeah, just keep it in exactly the same way. Okay, so that would be, Phil, the way to do that, yeah, is to try and keep it in there. Because what happens is, well, a lot of the time the hi-hat gets forgotten about, yeah? So, you know, as we've talked about before in sort of previous lessons and things, yeah, the hi-hat gets kind of forgotten about. So, for example, if you're playing a disco groove, watch what happens when we go on the ride. The whole emphasis of the groove's gone because we've gone away from the hi-hat, yeah? So all we need is a little bit of hi-hat facility to be able to play that and keep that flowing, yeah? With the foot splash. Yeah? So now you've got the groove, this is going to sound like this. Okay, so slightly off topic, but again, you know, it's how important this bit of the kit is, yeah? How important this bit of the kit is, and it's really overlooked, yeah? And that simple little foot splash there, all right, yes, you need a little bit of independence, yeah? But that simple little foot splash is all really you need to keep that groove flowing, okay? So when you're on the ride, keep the hi-hat going, yeah? Keep that hi-hat going. So you can keep that flow going, yeah, and it keeps the groove feeling the same, and it keeps your playing the same, so you can skip straight back into the groove on the hi-hat. All right, so yeah, that's the first step, yeah. Now, obviously, with this kind of stuff, if you've got the hand control and the hand speed, depending on how fast you're playing, yeah, this can become this. And you can play it one-handed if you've got the control and the speed to be able to play that, okay? So that's going to sound slightly different because obviously we're playing it with one hand, yeah? But let me show you what that sounds like. Okay, so that's the flow stays there. Sounds slightly different, but again, that's something then you can transfer onto the ride and keep playing it, because 9 times out of 10 when people go on the ride, everything gets really stiff. Yeah. So let's keep that flowing. If we're playing it one-handed, exactly the same when we get on the ride. Okay, so exactly the same when we get on the ride, yeah? You can start to fill things out a little bit then. So they're the two kind of, real basic ways, although they don't sound that basic, yeah? They're really kind of nice things to play, and they sound quite, kind of much more complex than they actually are, yeah, okay? But they're the two kind of real basic ways to start to get that. So either bringing the left hand across or out, yeah, and then when you're on the ride, keeping it there. Thanks, Phil, for that. And then maybe trying to put it on, one-handed. Yeah. So you've got a really nice groove going, and it just adds that little bit of a flow to it. Yeah. Just adds that little bit, really nice little flow, and you get some really nice sounds coming out of it. Yeah. So they're the first things to kind of experiment with. Yeah. The other thing to look at is you can quite easily think about putting some rudiments in there. So that might be some doubles, yeah, might be a paradiddle. All this stuff is, completely and utterly usable and acceptable, more to the point. Yeah, that's what you can do. It's completely acceptable to be able to play all this stuff. Okay, so let's have a look at where we might put it. Let's say we take a 5-stroke, right, right, left, left, right. Obviously, it's just going to be the right-hand side of it. That's going to be count 2. 1, 2, and... Or count 4, it's going to be the backbeat. And 2, and... And 2, and a 4, and 1, and 2, and 2, and 3, and a 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and a 4, and 1. Yeah? So that's another one to try, yeah? Same up here, same as we on the ride. 1, and 2, and 2, and yeah? That one then, I'm starting it with the left hand, so I'm playing left, left, right, right, left to bring the backbeat back on the left hand. 1, and 2, and left, left, right, right, left, and 1. Okay, and then exactly the same place you could quite easily just stick in the paradiddle. 1, and 2, and paradiddle tap, and 1, and 2, and paradiddle, and 2, and 1, and 2, and paradiddle tap, and 1, and 2, and staying right-handed, paradiddle. Okay, let me try those with the stick so you can hear those a little bit better. And with a paradiddle. Again, so, you know, a relatively straightforward, simple pattern, just putting either a 5-stroke or a set of doubles and a paradiddle, count 3. Yeah, really easy. You can obviously speed that up a little bit. 1 and 2. Put it on count 3. 1 and 2, end of the 3. 4. 1 and 2, end of 3. So that now, the end of the 5-stroke now becomes count 3. 1 and 2, 3. 1 and 2, 3. 1 and 2, 3. 1 and 2, 3. And the same with the paradiddle. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Try those with the sticks so you can hear those a little bit better, nice and slowly. Okay, so 5 strokes and paradiddles, yeah? Relatively straightforward stuff, yeah? You can either play it nice and steady, count 3, or if you've got the hand speed to be able to do it, you can start to move that on a little bit. Okay? You can start to move that on a little bit. All right? So let me show you a few ideas based around that. Okay, so there we go. There's just a few, you know, a few kind of simple-ish ideas. Yeah, a few simple-ish ideas. Yeah, okay. All it takes is a little bit of imagination and some hand speed, basically. Yeah. But again, all the previous exercises in the archives are going to kind of fix that, and they're going to take care of that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. So let's move on a little bit. Let's just answer this question from Thomas. Bear with me a second, I'll just read this. Okay. So Thomas is saying that he's been lurking around the archives. He's enjoyed everything that he's seen so far. It's his first live lesson. It's his first live lesson. So welcome, Thomas. Thank you for joining us, mate. Have we got a new kit? Yeah, obviously, yes, we have got a new kit. Yeah, I forgot to mention this. Yeah, it's been in about a week, and it's absolutely and utterly stunning. Yeah, it's a obviously Mapex. It's a Mapex Meridian Maple. It's got the stock heads on it at the minute. We've still got the Black Panther here, which is the snare that we had before. Yeah, but it's just an absolutely stunning kit. The finish is absolutely gorgeous. If I knew what it was, I would tell you, but I've actually forgotten what it is. Yeah, okay. But it's just an absolute stunning finish. Yeah, it sounds great. Yeah, we've got a 22, 10, 12, and a 16, I believe this is. Yeah, which is slightly bigger than I use a lot of the time gig-wise. I'm just using 20, 10, 12, 14, which is a Saturn that I gig with. Again, this snare's my sort of main workhorse gig snare, yeah. But yeah, it's absolutely superb. Yeah, it's mounted off tom stands this time, as opposed to being mounted off the bass drum. The bass drum's not drilled at all. Yeah, I say it's been in here a week. I'm still tweaking it, but it's just fantastic. So well done. We've gone back for those eagle-eyed people out there. I've gone back to an extra tom as well. Before we just had 12 and 16, and I've put the 10 back in now, just to change it up a little bit. Just sort of change it around a little bit and keep me on my toes really, and move the ride up a little bit. Just keep things moving forward really. I like to have a change from time to time, and it just seemed kind of like a good idea to put that back in, and I've now done that. I've now done this on all my kits. Whether it will stay like that, I don't really know at the minute, but I've done it on most of my kits, and as things are at the minute, I'm liking it. Yeah, I'm liking it now. So the three kind of main kits that I use all the time, they're all back to a sort of standard 5-piece setup now. And as I say, I'm quite liking that now. But this is, I'm really liking this. And it's got the sort of the vintage, as you can't see, it's got the vintage kind of cream coloured head on it with the new Mapex logo, which is great. It's really nice kit. Really nice kit. Yeah. Okay, so thanks for that, Tom. Thanks for noticing, mate. Yeah. We do change them every year, actually. Mapex change the kits every year. And we'd had the other one just over 12 months. So it was time to change. So out it went, and in came this one, and I'm really impressed with it so far. It's absolutely superb. All new drums, all new hardware. It's brilliant. Really liking it. Okay, so let's move on. Let's crack on, and then let's finish off with something. Yeah. Okay. There's a little thing that we can play now, which is kind of gives it a nice funk, a nice funkier kind of feel. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to think about this hi-hat pattern. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and yeah. What we're going to do is we're going to put a bass drum in that space. Okay, so it's going to end up sounding like this. If you had the snare in there as well. Really cool groove. Yeah, let me play that for you with a stick so you can hear that a little bit better. Really nice groove. Yeah, it gives it a really nice flow. Yeah. Now you can do that two-handed if you want. If I were doing it two-handed, I would play right, left, left, right for the bits on the hi-hat. Yeah. 1. Yeah. Very much. If anybody's watched the Sissy Strut lesson, yeah, it's very much along the lines of that Sissy Strut lesson. Yeah. Okay, it's actually kind of the middle part from the Sissy Strut lesson, or the rhythm from the middle part of it, yeah? Okay, and it just sounds amazing when you get it, and you get moving with it, okay? So I'll play it a little bit quicker for you. I'll play it with two hands this time. Okay, so that's one of my favourite things to play. I use that quite a lot. In all honesty, I probably use it a little bit too much, yeah? But it's absolutely love it. Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, so, and the good thing about it is, it's actually, you can use it you can completely use it as a fill as well, yeah? So you can go same sticking pattern. Or both hands. Okay, really nice, yeah, 1. Yeah, really nice groove. So let me try that for you. Okay, so that's all I'm going to show you. Yeah, they're the things that I use. Yeah, they're the things that I use. They're the things that I use quite a lot. All right. Go back over the lesson again. Yeah. Keep watching it. Keep picking up on it, and keep moving it. You know, keep moving forward. Yeah. Don't forget to get your questions. We've had a couple of really good questions there. Yeah? But I know there's more people on that are not sort of not asking the questions at the minute. Okay. So let's try and build it and keep it going. Yeah. This is really, really cool. Thank you for anybody who's watched. Yeah. I'm just going to finish off. I'm going to add all this stuff together. Yeah, I'm just going to play a little bit for you. I'm going to, finish off with this. One final check of questions, and then we're finished. All right. So all of it, I'm just going to mix it all together and show you the possibilities. All right, guys. Thank you. All right, guys, one final check. Keep checking the Facebook page, keep checking everything else. Keep up to date with what's going on. No, we're done. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Take it on board. It'll be in the archive in the next few days. And I will see you all very soon. All right, cheers, take care.